everyone, so I'm back with another commute for you. It seems London commutes are terribly fascinating to everybody. So I did this commute while we were living in our temporary flat before we went to Canada, so we had an awkward gap between leaving our flat, putting our stuff in storage, and flying out. This is in the area of southeast London near Tower Bridge, which I'm coming up to now. As you can see, it's more central, more urban. It's about 7:30 in the morning at the minute. My commute was a lot longer from here, so I'm just turning onto the road with Tower Bridge. It's a tad bit quiet this time of day, which is lucky. So yeah, it is quite amazing to get to see this on my commute and actually cycle across the iconic Tower Bridge. And at the minute this bridge is actually closed. As you can see, the surface is a bit rough and they're resurfacing it at the minute, apparently causing chaos. But yeah, so it was pretty special. Unfortunately, this day was not very bright and sunny. It was a bit dreary, but I thought it would be fun to capture this commute for everybody. It's been a while since I've had the chance to sit down and review it, actually. The lucky thing for me was the super east-west cycle highway had just opened, and so this made the commute bearable. Otherwise, I'm not sure I would have done this commute as much as I did, or at all. So there you can see the Shard on the left, and on the right, I can't get to it. There's an awkward connection, so the superhighway is actually over on the left. You can see people cycling along it. So this is one of the means of my getting onto it. So I wait till the pedestrians cross the street, then use the crosswalk to connect onto it. So I think they could really improve how you join the highway. But once you're on the highway, it is lovely, it's protected, it's separated, it's newly paved. It is really, it's really nice to ride on it. There's a few areas I don't like, I think could be improved. But as you can see in the traffic to the left, there's a lot of buses, enormous trucks, and I would really prefer not to be mixed in with all of that. So I am glad this existed while I had to do this commute. So we're coming up on the area where St. Paul's Cathedral is. If I am correct, I'm just trying to see where the junction here is. Oh, and the naughty cyclist running the red, very naughty. So we're around Monument now, actually, coming up here. I believe that's Blackfriars Bridge. So I go past just about every bridge in London on my commute. It's 26 kilometers this commute, so I won't bore you with all 26 kilometers. It takes me about not quite an hour and a half. I've chopped it down to just under 15 minutes for you guys, so hopefully that's all right. This is at 2 times the speed I'm actually cycling, so if you're curious to know what it's really like, you can change your settings on YouTube to slow down this footage by 50%, and that will give you the real view. So yeah, as you can see, it's a long section of separated road. Coming up, there's a tunnel, which is exclusively this one tunnel for cyclists, other than this truck which is coming out of a driveway which is in the tunnel. So it's pretty cool. I can't imagine going through this with the cars and trucks previously, before this existed, but yeah. And as you can see, the cyclists coming the other way. Generally, I'm going the opposite of everyone else. I'm getting out of London. Everyone's coming into London. This is one of the junctions I don't really like. I think this corner is way too narrow, especially when you get the two-way traffic of cyclists. And then this junction here, it's not great. It's just not quite wide enough. As far as I'm concerned, they had the space. I don't know why they didn't use it to make the most of it. And so, like passing a car on the cycle highway, you have to wait till no one's coming the other way. Make sure you have enough room. But there's space for everybody. It's gotten busier since I've been on it, as more and more people started using it as it opened. And this is another junction, so the highway now is going to go on to the other side of the road, so we have to veer in around. And again, this is too tight. I don't know why they didn't round that corner some more. And along this section, which is quite touristy, we have these ramps. But again, I think they could do better on the painting and notification for the pedestrians. At 7:30 in the morning, it's fine. I've cycled around here at lunchtime, and the pedestrians, they're just tourists. They don't look. They just step off the curb. They don't you know, to them there's no cars coming, they can't hear a car, so they think it's fine just to step out and they're not looking. So it can get a little bit hairy at busier times of the day along here. But it's a lovely stretch of pavement. As you can see, the cyclists coming the other way that are going east, and you can see there's a cleaner, they're maintaining it. These guys coming east, I found them to be a little bit aggressive, passing each other, and there's more of them. And I think they could have been a little bit more calm and less aggressive, basically. But yeah, other than that... And there you can see the London Eye on my left. I'm coming up to Westminster and Big Ben up at the end of this road, which is also pretty cool to get to see every day on my commute. A nice bit of timing there at the green light. As you can see, as the day goes on and the morning goes on and I get more central, the amount of cyclists you'll see pick up continually through this video. It's just I leave very early. So yeah. There's the Houses of Parliament. The good thing about this route, it is almost entirely along the river, so it's just a pleasant route. You know, it's a pretty route. You go through Chelsea and Fulham, and it's quite green on that area, so it is a nice commute. It's just 26 kilometers is pretty long. I wouldn't want to have to do that kind of distance as a commute every day long term, but it was great for the training for Canada. And this section here is the older bit of the cycling network that was there previously, I believe, with the blue paint. So it's not segregated, but it's painted out, which isn't as good, obviously, but it's nice to have something. And yeah, this guy, nice little right or left hook, sorry, I'm used to being in Canada now, on me. As you can see, the bikes going in the other direction towards London, they're picking up now. There's a lot of bikes. Some days it was like a yellow army coming in, descending onto London. And this is just another one of the bridges. If I could keep straight and memorize the order, I would tell you each one, but I am not sure I get it right. So yeah, continuing along the Thames River bank here. And another bridge, which the bridges were annoying because there's always sets of lights and traffic. But, you know. And a little weaving here to get to the front. It looks worse than it is in fast motion. It's, you know, not quite that hairy. This is where I turn off. It's an area, Chelsea, I believe it's technically Chelsea Harbour here. It's quite interesting to see how it's being redeveloped. It looked like it used to be a lot of warehouses and things that are being converted. It's quite an interesting little area of, you know, older housing and older warehouses being converted. Now at the end of this road there is some construction going on, and so I had to get off my bike and push it across the sidewalk. It's just not worth trying to get, well, I think it was a one-way actually, it was blocked going the other way, so I had no choice, and every time I tried to find a different way around it, I would get lost, so I just pushed my bike, it was easier. And yeah, now just trying to get through the cyclists. And now I'm getting on my bike again, and off I go. So this is technically now I think in Fulham. As you can see, the amount of cyclists going into London, you can just see how popular cycling is in London now. Now this guy, yeah, he tries to go for it. There's 20 bikes coming in, but he's dashing in front of me, which is lovely. So yeah, this bit is a bit of a rough road, and then this section, I don't even know why they've painted this bike lane on the road. It's absolutely pointless. You'll see here in a second, right here, this truck over the line, because he can't fit with a cyclist in the cycling lane. So you can imagine on the days when you've got two trucks going each way and two cyclists, forget it. We don't fit, and it's pointless to have that paint on the road as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, there's just not enough room. And now this is where I finally go south of the river, although I do go back north where I work. It's Putney Bridge. So this takes me into the area near where I used to live, but my commute is not quite the same for a little bit while yet. So I go on Lower Richmond Road along here, and then I get to a nice green park, which I think maybe is Barnes Common, not quite sure the name of the park. But it's like going down a country lane, except for the fact when there's traffic there, you get stuck because the lane is so narrow you can't squeeze past the traffic. So here it comes up here. There we go. And yeah, so you know, for 5-10 minutes I get to feel like I'm in the country, and it's a very beautiful part of London, in West London here, southwest London. And as you can see, it's a narrow road, so because of the bushes, you just can't squeeze your way down when there's a, you know, bumper to bumper traffic. And a lot of the time on that road there is a long line of traffic. It really is a shame it wasn't a sunny day, because it's absolutely just stunning, this ride. And because it was the end of May, it was a good time of year to have a longer commute. It was, you know, good weather, reasonably good weather most days. And yeah, now coming up into Barnes Village. This is Barnes Bridge area, which is actually now where we've moved. So we're in this area since we've come back to London. So my commute is now very much shorter. Instead of 14k, it's down to 8, which is nice now that it's November, but in the spring I'll probably try to find a longer way home to get some more miles in. And now I'm coming out back onto the Thames, but now I'm on the south of the Thames, and coming up to Barnes Bridge here. There's still London buses to contend with though, and London traffic. And this is the bit of my commute where I join up to the part of commute you've seen before in the previous video, where I join up near Mortlake Station at the end of this road. So if you want to see the rest of this commute, you can watch that video. I'll link it below, and hopefully you've enjoyed my London commute number 2, and thanks for watching.